ran a poll in 2004 among all our college graduates who were in our company. We asked them, how useful do you find college education for your current role in the company? You are a developer, you are a designer, you are a marketer, you are probably doing content creation. Whatever you did at college, how relevant is that to what you are doing today at work? And these were the results that came. So some of them said, yes, it was really useful. But some of them said college was good, but I fooled around. Many of them said I wasted time, I wasted my mom's and dad's money. And a huge fraction of them said it was a massive time waste. Teachers were no good, right? So it's not a verdict about teaching or teachers, or it's about a verdict on the system itself. So this was real. We took this statistics through a poll, and the necessity, right? So before we became Zoho and a decently popular name today, we were once called AdventNet, and before that we were called Rainbow Systems. It was a small company doing software for embedding in printers and embedding in firewalls and so on. And we weren't a first day choice at any college. Nobody really invited us and said, take our creme de la creme and recruit them and take them into your company. So we had challenges actually recruiting good students. Way back in 2004, we weren't a very sought-out name. No Tier 1 colleges, no IITs or IIMs invited us, no first-day placements for us. We were focusing mostly on suburban institutes and self-financed colleges, and word of mouth, friends and relatives. That was the way we actually got our first 1/10 of the workforce. And what happened because of that, we had a realization. Most of the managers who actually saw these students coming in, they had us these two questions they asked us. They said, hey, did he learn anything at all at college? When will she start being productive? Right? I thought she's a graduate in engineering, and she comes in and says she's a gold medalist in computer science, and I give her an assignment. It's 6 months before I can get even a single productive day out of her. Right? So what did she learn at all at college, and when will she start being productive? These were questions that started coming from our top managers. So basically I went back to Quora and looked at this question. How are students in Indian colleges taught programming? You can do the search yourself. There is a real question out there with answers, top answers, upvoted answers like these. We were taught programs, not programming. Write the code in a sheet of paper and get it signed before you switch on the computer. Horror stories, but really these are real answers from colleges around India. With such an attractive pay scale for software engineers, nobody but the worst would remain as faculty and lecturers. Real problem, I agree. Doing final year projects is a sort of scam these days. They even make illegal tie-ups with HODs to direct all students to a particular computer center. The syllabus is largely outdated. Many topics are never used in real life. Java is taught only in the final year. Python, the language for the future with machine learning and artificial intelligence coming in, is not even taught at most colleges. So these were the three seeds. Philosophy, where is this credentialism taking us? Necessity, where do we get our talent? And realization, is this the talent that we actually wanted? So sage wisdom always says you can't actually look for solutions the way you looked for problems, right? This man with bad hair has said that. There's another man without hair who has said something else. Be the change that you wish to see in the world, right? So we said, okay, let's start a small experiment. Let's think big, but let's start small. So we got started. We went to a nearby school. We looked for students who really didn't have any other option, right? Financially, they weren't capable of actually getting through an engineering or a medical education. We met them. They didn't have too many other options. We gave them a basic aptitude test, right? A simple bilingual test in Tamil and English. We tried to find out if they had that mathematical aptitude. 6 students we identified finally. We put two teachers to work with these students, and we chose just 3 subjects: English, mathematics, and programming, right? Software engineering. These were the three subjects we chose. And the rest, as they say, is history. I'll show you some random profiles. Unless I tell you that they are from Zoho University, you wouldn't know that they are from there. So this is Bharati. She passed out in 2006. She is now the head of an iOS app team for Zoho people. This is Divya. She is a software quality assurance engineer at the Zoho Security team. She passed out in 2010. Balaji is an Android developer who works in the Zoho Recruit product. Jalakandeshwaran, one of our star students, he actually works with graphics processing unit algorithms, which are actually translating some of our software so that they are embedded into hardware and hence can run much, much faster. Zoho Labs is his team. Arvind is doing Zoho marketing and pre-sales. Annie does technical support for the Zoho mobile team. And Raghunath is a web designer for the Zoho Recruit product. So we must have done something right. So I'll just take you quickly through a story the moment a student joins Zoho University, how he or she gets out of it after 18 months. This is the story of Sri Lata. We meet her just like we meet everybody else. This is her parents in her backyard. This is the school she comes from. The school doesn't have a single computer there. Most of the time classes happen under trees because the thing is too overcrowded and too dark. We gave her a test in English and Tamil. She can choose which language to answer the test in. It's a multi-level test. There's a first level and then followed by a second level. 3,000 students take the test. Around 15 passed to the final level. And we also have an interview where we try to find out if he or she has the fire in the belly, whether she's got what it takes to actually go through an 18-month training program. After the interview, classes begin. Some of it is theoretical classes like these, where each student listens to lectures from practitioners in the industry. And in the afternoons, you have these lab sessions where students from the next batch, you actually work with students from the next batch, and hence there is a mentoring happening right there. So you learn when you teach, right? So that kind of collaborative teaching happens. 9 months down the line, the student is given the opportunity to choose which team she or he wants to get embedded in, and the HR team comes and gives her an offer letter. And then the mentoring continues because most of these students haven't seen so much money, right? They are already being paid 8,000, 9,000 rupees per month, and they are given food and internet access, and there is even this how to handle money, how to handle interactions kind of counseling that needs to be done. And 18 months later, if the team head is happy with your performance, the team absorbs you into their own team, and she becomes a full-fledged software engineer employee at Zoho Corporation. There's a lot of fun that happens along the way. That's the dean playing caroms with the students. That's table tennis. That's the CEO dancing with the students. There's cricket. These are the topics that are typically taught. So there is a huge technology bias, as you can see. And basic mathematics and communication skills are rounded off so that the student gets a full development happening to him or her. There's a lot of stress on security because when it comes to real software engineering, that's something most colleges miss out in their curriculum. They are teaching how to program, not to develop software. If you look at a typical college student, the first 4 years, he or she spends money. So the first year, the second year, the third year, the final year, and then there's a big question mark. Where will I go? What job will I get? I am at the crossroads. So this is the typical 4-year transform of any college student. And then he starts earning, probably. Compare it with the Zoho University student. When he enters, he starts getting a stipend. The first year, second year, and then once he becomes part of the organization, the third year, the final year. By the time he reaches the 4th year in the organization, he or she is already earning equal to or more than what a typical college graduate will get at our company. So that is the growth path of a typical Zoho University student. So this is how we have grown. The yellow indicates the girl community, the blue indicates the boy community who have joined us. We started with 6 students and 2 faculty. The red is the faculty count, and that is the number of alumni and students today at Zoho University. So we have 345 students who have passed out of Zoho University, who have been managed by 6 faculty. Some numbers to give you a perspective of how things are. This is the gender split. That's the gender split. Did they have prior education? Did they already have a degree? No, only 35% of them came in with a diploma. How many were rural? How many were urban? 55% urban. 45% of them came from villages where they didn't even know what a software career meant. Most of them were first generation learners. 70% of them didn't have a graduate in their family. Their parents were uneducated. They were cottage industry, they were farmers, they were businessmen. So 90% of them didn't have a graduate parent. The medium of instruction, 60% of them came from English medium, but a full 40% hadn't learnt English, hadn't learnt any serious subject in the English medium. Did they have exposure to computers before they joined us? Half of them didn't know how to use a computer before they joined us. The monthly baseline income poverty line, if you look at it, 85% of them were below the poverty line. So what makes it tick? I'll show you some reasons why I think, if I look at it from the outside, why I think Zoho University ticks. There are no exams. Because the moment you say there are exams, there will be the previous 3 days of crammed learning and vomiting, and there will be this effort to game the system. We chose not to have exams at all instead. It's a continuous evaluation of the faculty, observing, making notes, giving comments, giving guidance. The teachers are software engineers. They are not theoreticians who just only learnt from books, who probably didn't write a single line of code in their life. They are all real software engineers who also have the passion to teach. That makes a world of difference. The alumni strength, it's not like a typical college where students become alumni and then slowly vanish. Our alumni strength is 350 strong, and they are still employees in this company waiting to chip in with some help to these junior students who are from their same locality, their same college, their same school. They want to give back what they got from Zoho University. The syllabus is revised twice a year. Think about that again. Imagine revising a syllabus twice in a decade, first of all. Right? So when a new technology comes in the horizon, we are a software company. To survive, we need to ride that wave. And to ride that wave, we need new students who are already trained in these technologies. So we said, every year, revise what the students are being taught. And they learn more of what they need, less of what they don't need. So we don't teach them integral calculus, because we have realized that's useful, but only for deep engineers who are going to probably build bridges and buildings, right? Who are going to probably launch rockets. For us, we teach them the exact mathematics that they need to know, which is usually glossed over in the pursuit of teaching them higher level mathematics. The foundational mathematics is not taught enough at colleges. So we focus instead on strengthening their foundations. English is taught, not grammar. We teach them English by making them watch movies, read newspapers, read articles, come up on stage and talk, rather than ask them what is the ablative clause. Right? That's not how English should be taught. You don't choose a career. The career chooses you. We are exposing them to all these amazing work that happens around the company. They learn more in the corridors than in the classrooms. They rub shoulders with seniors. They meet the CEO. They read posts made by him in the intranet, and that's how they learn what they think they should aspire for, what they think they are cut out for. That's how they choose their careers. 24/7 internet access is given, Wi-Fi friendly environment. We don't monitor. We could. We built software that monitors all this, but we chose not to do that. We trust them implicitly. We give them that long rope, and they pay back by trusting us, by being responsible students. Students mingle freely with alumni and other employees, right? The moment you enter the organization, the only way you will tell a Zoho University student is by looking at their faces which haven't even started sprouting beards. They'll be so young. That's the only way you can tell that it's a Zoho University student. Otherwise, they will just be like everybody else, right? You start by earning and not paying. We don't have fees. We start by paying them an 8,000 rupees stipend the first day they enter the organization. There is individual attention given, there is computer time that's given. Project-based recruitment into teams. We don't believe in interviews. We think making a person sit across a table for 2 hours and drilling them and lighting a fire under them and seeing how they react to such tension and pressure, that is not the way you try to find out if you will have a good fit with this person. Right? You give them something, you put them at ease, give them a 15-day project perhaps, see how they perform. Look at what kind of questions they ask. Forget about answering them. Do they ask the right questions? Right? So this is how we evaluate them across the table and give them a long project-based recruitment, and that seems to work out very well for us. Truly flipped classrooms, we don't waste time lecturing them. Instead, most of our lectures are recorded in Tamil and Hindi, and they are bilingual. And these recorded lectures are available anytime for the student to watch using his or her laptop or mobile phone. And the student-teacher interaction is hence reduced and focused on getting doubts resolved. Right? When you have a challenging question which the lecture doesn't answer, you go to the teacher, sit down one-on-one or perhaps with a group and get those questions answered. So we truly flipped the classroom like the Khan Academy model, if you want. Mentors are on call, right? We have a huge group of senior management who is deeply involved in this, spiritually involved in this. They take moral responsibility in trying to give what they didn't get at college. They try to give back to these students as they see. That's a small little college happening right within campus, and they're happy to chip in. And it's self-paced learning. If a student is not able to finish what he or she started in 18 months, they can take a little longer. They can work with them, and it's self-paced. The family, the faculty, the managers are all genuinely involved. And there is a second chance vigor, right? Most of these students, they know that they are being given a second chance to figure things out and come right. So every day they find that they count themselves lucky that they are being given that environment, and that's why this sticks. There is no stopping an idea, after all, whose idea has come, whose time has come. So I saw a video recently. It's called the Shift Happens video. And the Shift Happens video actually had this very interesting line. This is something worth remembering, because that talks about what happens in educational institutions these days. We are currently preparing students for jobs that don't even exist. Internalize that. Right? We are preparing them for jobs that don't even exist and that are using technologies that haven't been invented yet. There is talk about robotics 10 years ago. Today there is talk about psychiatric advice for robots because they are so intelligent and hence they are feeling emotionally down. Right? Imagine having a psychiatry counseling for a robot. In order to solve problems we don't even know or problems yet. So for students starting a 4-year technical college degree, this means half of what they learn in the first year is already obsolete by the time they reach the 3rd year. What are we talking about? Who are we kidding? What 4-year programming, what 4-year course are we talking about then? The aim should be to let them learn. Aim should be to teach them techniques to learn by themselves. That should be the way it should work. And over time, we don't think this is a format that we have identified. It's 12 years old now, and this is how it should work forever. No. We know that we need to change too. At Zoho University, these are changes that we have implemented over the past few years. We started with a 0 fee model, and we started giving them a stipend instead over time. We started with tri-monthly tests. Every 3 months you will be evaluated. And then we realized tests are evil. So we said, okay, no tests at all. We started with these core languages, and then we realized that these languages are going to morph into more important ones. We started teaching them Python and Java. We gave them free food, and then we started giving them thrice a day free food. We taught them grammar once upon a time, but now we are focusing on conversational and functional English. The managers weren't involved until the students came out of Zoho University, but today the managers are involved very early because they know some of the best employees they have in their team are actually from Zoho University. They want to come in early so that they reserve a seat in their team. It used to be small classrooms, now they are flipped classrooms. The learning pace used to be guided, now it is self-paced. We have expanded. There is a location now in Tenkasi, and very recently we opened an office in Renigunta also. We will be having a Zoho University operating out of there. And this is my son. He passed out in 2018. Last week he joined the Zoho White Hat Hacker security team. So if you look at the data, we are around 5,400 strong, and around 400 employees are from Zoho University. And that clearly says 1 out of 10 employees you see of Zoho haven't seen the inside of a college, right? So we are very happy, and we'll be glad to tell you more about it. You can catch me offline. Thanks a lot.